In this video, I'm going to share with you 30 minutes of brutally honest baseball advice. And guys, this isn't going to be sugar-coated in any way. These are really the truths that you need to hear if you want to take your game to the next level. And hopefully everyone watching this video, if you're a baseball player and you take the game serious, hopefully you do actually want to play at the next level. So let's get started. And before we get started, actually, if you're new here, my name is Evan Mendoza. I have 7 years of professional baseball experience under my belt between the St. Louis Cardinals and San Diego Padres. I also played 3 years in D1 baseball in the ACC at NC State University. The Wolfpack, that was me hitting a walk-off against Duke on a Friday night, one of the most memorable moments of my entire college career. And I also studied engineering when I was at NC State, so I definitely value education. I was on varsity all 4 years of my high school baseball journey, and as you guys know, that's a pretty cool feat because freshmen you don't usually get to be on varsity right away. They usually have to go on either the freshman team or on the JV team. So I'm here to share all that knowledge with you guys, truly. I'm quite literally that baseball guy who talks mentality, the development in the game, and then even the recruiting process, how to navigate it, and all that stuff. And I also founded my own online academy where I dive a little bit deeper into these subjects, the Mendoza Baseball Academy, where we help high school baseball players who are rising juniors and seniors really bridge that gap into college. So now let's get into it. So I think first and foremost, guys, it is vital to understand where you are at in your baseball journey. If you had an air balloon, honestly, I want you to zoom out like very, very high up into the sky and look at yourself and see yourself on that journey, right? Are you a high school baseball prospect that's about to get drafted in the MLB draft? Probably not, but maybe. You never know. Everyone's different. That's my point. Are you a junior who will barely get playing time on varsity? That's another situation. Ideally, you have to analyze where you're currently at in your baseball journey, especially if you're in high school, and be real with yourself. Guys, this is not the time to fake it as far as what your situation's about, right? Sometimes in the game, yes, it's 100% okay. Fake it until you make it, because that mentality of like giving yourself false confidence is better than, walking up to the plate discouraged already, right? So ideally, this is a point where you cannot fake it. You have to be very real with yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and you can't lie to yourself, right? If you're not going to get any playing time as a senior, do you think you're really going to be able to play in college, right? So these are the conversations you need to have with yourself to really understand your point A, right? So like I said, guys, be honest with where you're currently at, and it's really important to understand and evaluate your skills objectively. Meaning, like, if you were a college recruiter, what would you say about yourself? I was actually in a very, very similar situation where I was just speaking with a Los Angeles Dodgers scout. And it was pretty cool because he was kind of telling me that he's watched me play before a couple years back, and I basically gave him a scouting report on myself. And he told me, he was like, dude, that's pretty spot on, like, good job. And I wanted to do that because I wanted for him to show, like, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know my value as well. So understanding where your skills are at currently, I think is going to be huge for that, self analysis, really. You have to understand what your strengths and weaknesses are, guys. And if you don't know what your strengths are, you probably haven't been focusing on the game and your development for that long. All right. You also have to understand what your weaknesses are, right? Because you have to improve those to be able to play at the next level. You as a player, you've probably heard the phrase like a team is only as strong as the weakest link. Well, you as a baseball player is a chain link, chain, whatever. And your weakest link could be your sprint speed. Your weakest link could be, hitting for contact. Your weakest link could be your glove and on defense, right? And if that's the case, more than likely you're not going to be able to play at the next level because at the college level, you have to make the routine plays. It is just plain and simple, right? When you play professional baseball, it is expected to an even higher level. It's crazy. So you have to understand where your strengths and weaknesses are. And I want to share a quick little story with you guys. So I was in high school taking like the SATs, and there would be times where I was, doing SAT prep. I think I did like one of those like maybe 4 or 8 week classes to increase my SAT score. Um, my SAT score wasn't terrible. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but that was back when it was 3 part. I believe now it's 2 part. Anyway, getting way off topic. The main lesson that I learned in that course was the teacher said once, whatever you're best at, whatever your best score is, let's say there was math, there was reading, and there was writing. For me, I was a math and science guy, so my math score, I think I was like a 710 out of 800. I think 800 is the highest. I'm not entirely sure, but let's say it was 800 as the highest. I got like a 710 the first time, which is pretty solid. If it's out of 700, I got like a 610. I don't know. Either way, I was like under 100 points away from the top score, like a perfect score in that subject. So I knew my strength was in math. And that teacher told us, whatever your strongest area is, you want to really nail down and focus on that area. And then everything else, just like chip away. If you get like 10 extra points in that class, great, right? Just chip away at those areas, but really, you want to really dive deep into the area that you're good at. So what I did was in those practice tests, that huge SAT practice test booklet that I had, I would just constantly just rip out math course after math course after math course and really just test myself to see what I was going to get. And I think my math score actually increased by like 50 or 60 points. I think I was like 20 or 30 points away from getting a perfect score on the SAT in the math section. So using that approach, I took that into the baseball world. And I knew for a fact when I was in high school, my glove was really solid. I knew that that was just like part of my game that I felt super confident in. And it's something that I knew that was going to be able to take me places. And, looking back, I've been able to play 10 years. I was having a conversation with one of my students, 10 years past high school, which I think is pretty cool, a whole decade. So I played 3 years in college and then 7 years professionally. I there would be times my junior and senior year I did not think I was going to be able to land a college commitment, right? So it was really cool to be able to look back and truly tell you guys my glove is the reason that I was able to play 10 years. Everything else, just I chipped away my hitting, chipped away at my power hitting, chipped away at my sprint speed, which wasn't always fast. My arm strength I chipped away. I knew for a fact my glove was going to take me places. So that was my strengths. My weaknesses was mostly running, athleticism, and especially hitting for power. So it's really crucial that you understand your starting point to make real progress. I'm a huge Jimmy V fan. For those that don't know, Jimmy Valvano. There's I think 30 for 30 on him on ESPN about the Dream Team. He was a men's basketball coach for NC State, I think in like the 70s, possibly 80s. And he later in life battled some cancer and passed away. But he had one of the most memorable speeches at the ESPYs. I think it was like 1991, somewhere around there. And in that speech, whether you've heard it or not, it's the "Don't give up, don't ever give up" speech. In that speech, he talks about the 3 areas that you really should always know. You should always know where you came from, meaning like your past, right? Your upbringing, where you came from, your family, your hometown, the places you've been. All that's in the past, right? That's where you came from. You should also know where you're currently at, which is what we're talking about right now. You should be able to look around the room and just like understand deeply, not necessarily what room you're in, but like where you're at in life, where you're at on this journey. Let's say the journey is going up and down, kind of like on this chart right here. You should know exactly, like, hey, I'm on that orange thing right there. I'm really close to the red one, but I'm pretty far away from the green one, right? So you should be able to understand and assess where you're currently at. And then the third part is you really should understand where you're trying to go. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations to be able to, fulfill those dreams ultimately? You want to have that dream, and it's always very important to keep your brain alive and continuously dream about those wildest dreams. And as a lot of people have said, if your dreams aren't that big and they don't scare you, you're not dreaming right, right? We want to be able to dream big here. So this self-awareness will truly guide your training and your development and really align with where you need to go, because everyone's going to be different as far as where they're starting out. All right. So now I really want to hit on the commitment and the sacrifice of really just playing the game. And baseball demands both. Obviously, like the commitment. Commitment by definition is just like eliminating all alternatives. Meaning, like if you land a college commitment, you're basically there's things such as a verbal commitment, and after you sign the NLI. Either way, both times that you're actually basically committing to that school, you're eliminating all alternative options. All right. So there is a level of eliminating alternative options in the game of baseball as far as your focus, right? Your focus should 100% be on making sure that you're getting better every single day. And that comes with a level of sacrifice. So you can't be half in and expect to succeed, guys. You have to be bought in every single day, and you have to be 100% into whatever you're doing. If you're practicing, you're thinking about things that you shouldn't be thinking about, you're listening to music. Well, I listen to music when I train and stuff like that, but let's say you're listening to music and you're dancing with your buddies and you're not necessarily like really truly focused on the task at hand. Let's say you're hitting, you're really focused on your mechanics, and the teammate that you're hitting with is not too focused and isn't really focusing on his mechanics, right? So you want to be 100% into everything that you're doing. So this means, missing out potentially on social events, maybe parties. I know I never went to homecoming in high school. I never did it because it would typically be on a weekend, I believe, and we typically had travel ball tournaments. So I was okay with missing those. That was part of the sacrifice for me to be able to become a professional baseball player. And I understood that at a very young age. And also, like Friday nights, I would go to the YMCA and go to the gym because I knew just about 90% of the baseball team, 90% of the high school maybe, was at the football game, right? Cheering on the football team, especially in the fall time. That was okay. I wasn't a huge football fan, so like I took pride in like, hey, I'm out here and no one else is. Like this is a pretty cool feeling, right? So also like waking up early. I don't know if you guys do this in high school to train. I know my high school started at like it felt like 7:30. It was super early, and it was only a few times I had the ability to really wake up. Not had the ability, but I had the desire to wake up before going to high school. I did train a lot at night. I was more of a night owl, but yeah, in college, get used to it because that is 100% going to happen. And you have to make sure that you're dedicating your hours ultimately to practice. If you're not ready to make these sacrifices, you'll struggle to compete at the highest level, because at the highest level, everyone that's surrounding you, all of your teammates, everyone in the clubhouse, the opposing team, and especially the people that want to be in your shoes, are sacrificing the world to be able to get the dreams and the goals that they set out for themselves. So it is also very important, and I definitely want to hit on the fundamentals, guys, because the true champions, the most elite players in the world, they do the fundamentals right every single day, and they do the fundamentals more than anybody else. And the story that I like talking to you guys about as far as the fundamentals go is making sure that you understand that every single day in professional baseball, for the most part, we would do infield, outfield, we would do cutoffs and relays, we would do bunt D, we would do PFPs, we would do team defense. Like all these things we would 100% do every single day. Not necessarily all of them, but a combination of all of them throughout the week. So we did the fundamentals probably more than any high school baseball program did all year in like a week. Truly, truly. I remember in high school, like we could not do bunt D. There would always be someone that messed it up. Cutoffs and relays, there'd always be someone out of position. And at my high school, it was a very strict program where we did not accept that. So we would just do these fundamentals over and over and over again until we got it right. And I think a lot of people confuse fundamentals for the basics, um, or the very, I don't want to say bland, but like the fundamentals is something that I truly like to teach inside my academy, because the fundamentals are what made me elite, and it's what makes everyone elite. It's nothing super like extraordinary. Truly, like the Mike Trouts, the Otanis in the world, they've done hard work for longer. Simple, right? They've worked harder than everyone else, just about. I can confidently say that because of their performance. They've worked hard for a long period of time. Those two is going to lead to the success. And if there's a secret drill or a secret tip that I could give you right now, is that there isn't a secret drill or a secret tip to make you play at the next level. I think I was even a victim to this mentality of thinking that there was one specific thing that was going to help me play at the next level. It's not the case, guys. It's not the case. It's the mindset, it's the willingness, it's the consistency, especially with the fundamentals. So, no matter how advanced you truly get, fundamentals are key. Focusing on mastering the basics, obviously like proper throwing mechanics, balanced batting stance, solid fielding techniques, all very, very important things. These are technically the fundamentals of your mechanical game, right? And these are basically the building blocks of your game. Even the pros, of course, like I said, spend countless hours working on the fundamentals. And that's where we really want to make sure that we hit on the consistency over the intensity. All right. So a lot of high school baseball players are very intense. They go balls to the wall for like an hour, and then they're very tired. They don't know necessarily how to recover. And then the next day they're like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, right? That was a lot of hard work yesterday. Maybe I'll just give myself a break. I don't really feel like it. It's not a good time. I'm too busy, right? These are all the traps our mind puts on ourselves. And I'm gonna be brutally honest. Like, that's what this video is all about. The consistency is more important than the intensity. Um, it's better to practice a little every single day rather than go all out once a week. And I think a lot of the times, based off the hundreds of conversations that I've had with players and parents, a lot of you guys are doing like the private lessons route, and that's completely okay. I didn't take private lessons after like 7th grade. I was my own hitting coach. And truly, when I was a high schooler, I just really wanted a little bit more extra guidance, because the extra work that I was putting in, 100% I was putting in. I just needed someone there to kind of keep me accountable and guide me through the process. So that's why I created my Mendoza Baseball Academy. And that's exactly who I help, is like those elite level high school baseball players, really guiding them through the process, not necessarily giving them anything breakthrough, as far as, like I said, a special drill that will unlock all your dreams and goals. So, yeah, some of you guys out there go all out once a week with a private instructor and think like that's enough. And it's not. It's not enough. If you want to truly play at the next level, or maybe you're a parent listening to this, and if you want your player to get the resources to be able to play at the next level, he needs to be able to understand he has to work out just about every single day of the week in some capacity. And it could be for 15 minutes, it could be for an hour, right? That's going to be all up to him and his desire and drive and really determination on if he wants to get better. Because not everyone wants to get better. And there is room for average baseball players in this world. And that's completely okay if you or your son wants to be an average baseball player. It's just not the way that I was ever taught to go about the game. Really, in any sport. If my dad would always say, if you're going to do anything in this world, be the best at it. Like, that's the mindset of making sure that you go crazy every single day for a short period of time if you have to, because that's going to compound, and then it starts turning into a routine, and then it's part of your habits, right? So habits don't take a week, right? They take months, possibly even 6 months, possibly a year to really create. And I want you to be able to create those habits. So these habits of like making sure that we understand in some capacity every single day, whether it's raining, whether it's the sun shining, whether it's nighttime, whether we're busy, whether we've already had a game earlier in the morning and we had the afternoon, let's get some type of work done every single day, because that's what's going to be the separator between the good and the great. So daily practice builds that muscle memory, and really it reinforces what I said earlier, those good habits. So make baseball part of your daily routine. End of discussion, right? In some capacity. Play wall ball, guys. Get outside. Get off of your screens, right? I want you to get some fresh air, play some wall ball, put some duct tape on that wall like a mark, an X, and then work on your accuracy. Throw a lacrosse ball, throw a baseball, throw a tennis ball. I don't care. Get outside, play some wall ball with yourself. Stop making excuses on why you cannot do it. So let's embrace the failure, right? So this is just part of the game, to be honest with you. Failure is it's part of it, guys. If you're a hitter, you're going to have stretches where you feel like you cannot hit water if you fell out of a boat. And there are going to be times if you're a pitcher, it feels like every single pitch you throw is a meatball right down the middle, and every single hitter is timed up perfectly and they have a perfect swing, right? So you have to embrace the failure and understand how to deal with it. Because if you don't know how to deal with it, good luck. So like I said, baseball is a game of failure, and even the best players fail more often than they succeed. And we got a picture right here of Adam Wainwright, one of the most genuine human beings in the world. Really cool guy, would love to share stories with all of his teammates. And I remember sharing a breakfast with him in spring training in Jupiter. And he was talking about his unique situation of getting traded actually from the Braves to the Cardinals. I feel like a lot of people don't know he was part of the Braves in the minor league system before making his debut with the St. Louis Cardinals. And of course, he had a very, very long and successful career with the Cardinals. So he's someone that never took failure too seriously, but of course he understood the importance of coming back and making sure that he does not repeat the same mistakes, right? Just like any great baseball player. You need to embrace this reality and ultimately, like I said, learn from your mistakes. Guys, every at bat is a learning experience. It's not a succeed or failure driven outcome, right? Yes, you're going to get a base hit. Is that success? Maybe. What did the base hit look like? Did you barrel it up? Were you off balance? Did you just poke a ball and it flared and the outfield dropped it? Even though it was an error, we're going to put it on Game Changer as a base hit, right? All these things, I know exactly what you guys are dealing with because I've lived it, right? And defense in high school, defense in middle school, not the best, right? Not the best. So are you hitting the ball hard? That's what the success should really look like. But really, the bigger part of it is if you fail, you need to start understanding why you failed in that at bat, right? So in that at bat, if you got a base hit, but you were off balance and you just like poked a ball and someone made an error and you get on base and they classify it as a hit, like, yes, good job, you got on base, right? But start understanding how we could have done things better. I think that mindset of always embracing the ability of not settling, like it's very easy to be like, oh, well, I'm batting 700, even though the defense is terrible and I haven't squared up a ball in 2 months, right? So embrace the fact that like your mistakes and your successes do not define you. It's really the mindset that you have when you approach the success and the failure. Because in the success, you have to understand what you did right that led to the success. That's a learning process, right? And then when you fail, it's not if you fail, it's when you fail in this game, you have to also understand why you failed and how to improve it, right? So there's a lot to be learned in all of the failing in this game. So every strikeout, every error is basically an opportunity to improve. That's the way that you have to look at it. You have to look at this game that way. And obviously, you might not necessarily be the best defender, and you might make errors, and the team might hate you for it, right? You might be the guy that just has a brick on his glove. Guys, there were times where I made very, very important errors in the time. It felt like a very important error in a perfect game tournament or whatever. And I felt devastated because I felt like I left or let my entire team down. Not a great feeling, right? Not a great feeling. But you have to channel those emotions. You have to channel that idea of, did we improve? Did we understand how we can better improve based off of what happened, right? So don't let that failure discourage you guys. Let it fuel your growth. And work ethic will beat talent. All right, cut that out. So work ethic will always beat talent. Guys, talent can only take you so far. And if your work ethic, that's basically gonna set you apart from the rest. So hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I think we've all heard that one before. So make sure that you're showing up early, you're staying late, and you put in that effort every single day. And if you have big dreams of playing pro or college baseball, just head over to MendozABaseballAcademy.com and see if I can help you in your high school baseball journey. So another very important thing, guys, being coachable. So be open to feedback and willing to learn. All right. So coaches are there to help you improve. All right. So sometimes their advice might not necessarily make sense immediately, but just trust the process. All right. That's all they want. And being coachable means setting your ego aside and focusing on getting better. Guys, mental toughness is so important in the game of baseball, and mental toughness is, like I said, crucial. The game can be mentally exhausting, and staying focused is key, especially with all the failure that comes with it. So developing routines that help you stay mentally sharp is very important. So visualization techniques, making sure that your mindfulness and the positive self-talk can all make a huge difference. Guys, it's also very important to be adaptable. So be ready to adapt to new situations and challenges when they come your way. Whether it's playing a new position, I played first base and I didn't necessarily like it, but I had to adapt to that new position. Maybe it's a different role in the team. Either way, that is key to be adaptable. So the best players can thrive in any situation, truly. So now I just want to quickly hit on nutrition and rest, guys. Diet, rest, exercise, making sure that we're fueling our body properly and getting enough rest. And what you eat and how you recover impacts your performance. Whether you think it does or not, it does. So pay attention to the nutrition and make sure you're getting the right nutrients. And rest is equally as important. Your body needs time to recover and build strength. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to sleep very late. Make sure to create a habit for yourself and make sure you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep. Don't be going to sleep at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Also, very important, setting realistic goals. Make sure that they're attainable, guys, all right? So it's important to challenge yourself, but your goals should be achievable. That way we can, feel that sense of accomplishment. So break them down into short-term and long-term objectives, and this will keep you motivated and focused on your progress. It's also very important to make sure that you're balancing baseball and life. It's crucial. So it's easy to get consumed by the sport, to be honest with you guys, especially in pro ball, and maintaining a healthy balance is always important, making sure that you're viewing the game as a game. So make time for your family and friends and other interests because, like I said, guys, when you're playing professional baseball and you're away from your family and friends for like 6, 7 months out of the year, it is a sacrifice and you do start to miss them. So make sure that you're spending time with your family. You also say thank you to your parents for taking you all around the entire country sometimes to all these travel ball games. So it's good to always have like a well-rounded life. It contributes to your overall well-being and performance on the field. So guys, this is something that I really want to hit on really quick because I love business. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm a very creative guy as far as just like creating these videos, doing social media, but I also am creative in the business side of things, and it's something that I've always just had an internal passion about. So, shocker, baseball is a business, right? Major League Baseball is a business. Minor League Baseball is a business. And, understand that decisions aren't always based on performance alone. Okay, and this is something that it took a long time for me to really truly understand. Sometimes it's about the contracts, the trades, the team dynamics, especially at the higher levels of the minor leagues and the big leagues. So make sure that you're staying focused on what you control, all right? Your performance and your work ethic you can 100% control. So how do we handle pressure now? This is something that probably a lot of high school baseball players, maybe you're a rising junior, you're dealing with. You're excited, you're nervous, you don't know what the future is going to hold. So pressure is part of the game, so get used to it. And whether it's a big game or a critical at bat, playoffs, whatnot, state championship, handling pressure is essential, guys. So developing strategies to stay calm and focused under pressure is going to be huge for you. So like making sure that we're breathing in the middle of an at bat. It sounds very simple, but the more you breathe, the more you relax. Visualization is something that I'm a huge advocate of, and having a routine can help you stay composed. It also gives a sense of confidence, like, hey, I've been here before. So also teamwork, guys. So baseball obviously is a team sport, and your individual success is important, but the team success will always come first. So be a supportive teammate at all times and contribute to your team's goals, right? So when the team succeeds, everyone benefits, right? Everyone's happy. So now I really just want to talk about building a support network. Surround yourself with people who support you guys and believe in you. This includes coaches, teammates, family, and friends, all right? A strong support network can provide encouragement, advice, and motivation when you need it in this game. It's not if you'll need it, it's when you will need it. I also really want to hit on just making sure that we're all staying humble, all right? So no matter how good you get, stay humble in this game. The game will humble you, all right? So always be willing to learn and improve. Remember that there's always someone better, and there's always more to learn in this game. Do not ever settle in this game. Whether you go 4 for 4, yes, it's going to feel great. It's going to feel like you're on the top of the world, but the next game, you never know what's going to happen, all right? So make sure to always understand that, there's more to be learned, and also we just have to be humble. So humility keeps you grounded and focused on just getting better, right? We want to keep a level head. So how should we be dealing with setbacks? So guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, setbacks are inevitable. It's going to happen, and that's just part of baseball and life, really. So injuries, I've had a few. Slumps, I've had many. And other challenges will come your way. Guys, there's unrelated stuff to baseball that come my way in the middle of my minor league baseball season, and I had to deal with that. And it's not always easy to be focusing on off-field stuff. I know it's kind of somewhat related, but just recently in the news, Freddie Freeman, his son, something happened, I'm not entirely sure, but was in the hospital for like a couple of weeks with something like life-threatening. And at the time of recording, everything is looking promising, which I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but those things are hard to deal with when you have a job at hand to hit a 97-mile-an-hour sinker, right? For me, I broke my wrist twice. I also tore my adductor completely off the bone. And these are things that take you down. They are a huge challenge, and it's not fun. But how we respond to these setbacks, this is what can define you as a player. I'm not sure like a lot of people actually know the origin story of the Mendoza Baseball Academy, so I'm just going to go ahead and like kind of share it with you guys. But when I broke my wrist for the first time, I was in Jupiter, Florida, rehabbing with the St. Louis Cardinals. And I didn't really have too much going on. I had a cast on my left hand, my left all the way up to my elbow actually. And I didn't do much, to be completely honest with you. It was like 3 or 4 months, did not do much. It was actually 3 months, exactly. I had that huge cast on, and I had surgery done in Memphis. The surgery seemed fine. I flew back up there like every 2 weeks or every month. I can't really remember, but this is actually a time where I started driving with Uber because I got a new car. I was actually sharing with my sister at the time, and she moved to LA. So I wanted to, get myself a car. I got myself a little Volkswagen and started driving with Uber. I actually enjoyed it, but again, I had this huge cast on. I would just like listen to music and drive a couple people around, make a couple bucks. But so 3 months go by, and I'm basically doing that, and I wasn't really too happy with where I was at in life. Didn't really feel like I was providing a lot to the community, right? I felt like I could do more. So 3 months to the day, I re-broke my wrist. And I think that was an awakening moment for me, honestly. I told myself those previous 3 months, I did not want to replicate what I was doing. I did not want to be an Uber driver for the rest of my life. So I told myself I wanted to leave a positive impact to the community. And what I started doing was actually just private lessons. I gave around I think I had like 30 clients, working a lot, honestly, private lessons, usually like 2 or 3 a day, and was making pretty good money. Like I was happy with it. I had a cast on sometimes, but I was able to move around during my rehab process, and it brought life to me, honestly. I was rehabbing again for another 3 months. My season was officially over, and I was really devastated. I wasn't able to play winter ball like I was planning on, and I just was like, what do I do now? Well, ultimately, that's kind of the origin of the Mendoza Baseball Academy, because I started with those private lessons in Jupiter, Florida, and now obviously it's turned into this. Well, it didn't just all of a sudden turn into this. Back in 2023, when I was in San Antonio and I pulled my adductor, again, I was rehabbing for close to 4.5 months in Peoria, Arizona with the San Diego Padres. And that is truly when I decided to convert everything online and really blow the Mendoza Baseball Academy into what it is today. So I really just wanted to blow this up, make sure that everyone knew what online training was all about. I also wanted to give you guys as much valuable information as humanly possible. And here we are today. So it's how you respond to those setbacks. It's going to ultimately define you as a player, guys. So stay positive, work on your recovery, and come back stronger if you do get injured. Guys, this one's also a great one. Giving back. So support your community and help the next generation of players. So whether it's through coaching, mentoring, or volunteering, giving back is ultra important. It's a way to share your knowledge and passion for the game. So there you have it, guys. That is roughly 30 minutes, maybe not, maybe a little bit longer, who knows, of brutally honest baseball advice. So take these truths to heart and apply them to your game. So remember, becoming a great baseball player takes time, effort, and ultimately some dedication as well. So this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I teach my students inside my academy. So if you're a varsity high school baseball player aiming for a D1 scholarship in the near future, let me help you prepare you by getting you on that path inside my academy. I focus on 3 things. It's the physical development, which is going to look like, daily workouts, monthly workout programs, sprinting programs, mobility modules to increase your flexibility. The mental side with a couple of courses to increase your baseball IQ. And then the recruiting side, I have an entire course A to Z on how to reach out to these college coaches. That way you can land these college offers. So guys, this is very important. If you check out the video that's down in the description, you can get some more info on how my academy works.